South Park: The Stick of Truth is a great South Park game. You might be thinking that's a backhanded compliment, as the series has had a pretty spotty video game history, but that's all part of what makes The Stick of Truth such an achievement. Obsidian has taken a TV show built to generate laughs and built a 10 to 12 hour game that is perfectly crafted to house that engine. You are the new kid in town. Moments after being forced out of the house by your parents to meet the neighborhood kids, you're swept up in their town-spanning, Dungeons and Dragons-inspired battle for the Stick of Truth. Cartman, calling himself the Grand Wizard, has raised an army of cardboard-armored kids to protect the all-powerful stick from the Elven faction 2 houses down. After choosing if you'll serve as a thief, mage, warrior, or Jew, you join his forces. The Stick of Truth never lets you forget you're playing make-believe, and that keeps things weirdly grounded, no matter how outlandish they get. It's a world made by kids, but there are some surprisingly robust mechanics under the surface. At its core, it's a turn-based RPG, where you and a partner of your choice, like Butters, a paladin, or Kenny, a charming princess, take on hordes of enemies. To your weapons and armor, you're able to add equipment patches like fake vampire teeth or bubblegum that can layer on different types of damage like bleeding or frost. Figuring out which patches complement each other the best can get surprisingly, satisfyingly complex. Each character has abilities they can channel, like the mage's fireball attack, which is really just a Roman candle, or Jimmy's gigantic, mountain-spanning outpouring that makes enemies poop themselves to death. There's also magic in the form of, well, farts. Different farts that produce different effects depending on... You know what? You get the idea. Fart magic. This highlights one of the Stick of Truth's perhaps unavoidable stumbling blocks, and that's joke repetition. I'm not a proud man. I'll laugh at a fart, ask anyone, but I'm not Terrence and Phillip. I'm unable to find them ceaselessly entertaining. 5 to 10 second long animation sequences for abilities gradually go from funny to dull to the point that I started avoiding certain powers to keep things moving along. As well constructed as the mechanics are, what makes Stick of Truth work so well as a South Park vessel is that it puts the story first. Without spoiling anything, the boys' game soon triggers a crisis that threatens not only the town of South Park, but the planet itself. It introduces a ton of characters from the series, but a lapsed South Park fan like myself had no problem keeping up. The other component lovingly carried over from the series is that it's very adult. Put the kids to bed. Also, easily offended family members, put them to bed. You know what? Put everybody to bed. This is an experience that even the most casual fan of South Park is going to get something out of, and one of the truest translations from screen to game that I can recall. Other games treated the world Matt Stone and Trey Parker have crystallized over the past 2 decades as a prison they have to escape from. The Stick of Truth happily confines itself to that world and manages to build a comfortable, hilarious home of its own.